Oral sex, everything you need to know about giving, and getting, head. No matter what you call cunnilingus, fellatio, and analingus, giving head, eating out, or tossing the salad, one thing is for sure. Oral sex is a very intimate and satisfying act. People have been doing it since year one, which doesn't come as a surprise. In the city of Pompeii, which was buried by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, erotic frescoes show people doing it, and the Kama Sutra suggests some tricky tongue-fun positions. The Victorians came up with a lot of creative ways to talk about oral, like prick eating, meeting, and eating seafood. But even though oral sex has been around for a long time, even the most enthusiastic looks bigot probably still has some questions and concerns about it. So, we thought it would be best to put all of our tips into one big guide. What exactly is oral sex? Oral sex is when your mouth, lips, or tongue are used to touch your genitalia or anus. This could mean kissing, sucking, or licking their penis, fellatio, vagina, vulva, clitoris, cunnilingus, or anus, analingus. How do you give someone with a clitoris oral sex? Since the clitoris is a sensitive bundle of nerve endings, it makes sense that it will be the main focus of your oral work. Even though it's not the only place to go, it's a good place to start. Just like with any other kind of sexual stimulation, what works for one person might not work for another. If you pay close attention to what your partner says, you should be able to figure out how to push them over the edge. Techniques and tips: most of the time, when people talk about the clitoris, they mean the visible glands. In reality, only a small part of this sex organ is visible, and research suggests that the clitoris and clitoral nerves reach the front wall of the vagina. When you first start, it can be too much to jump right into a rhythmic tongue workout. Many people like to be teased with the promise of clitoral pleasure and pushed to the point where they're almost begging for that direct stimulation or are begging for it. Spend time kissing and breathing on their thighs and paying attention to everything but their clitoral glands. This will get them so worked up that whatever you do when you finally reach the clitoris is likely to have explosive results. Start by making circles with the tip of your tongue on the clitoral hood or glands. Then, depending on how your partner reacts, speed up or put more pressure on your tongue. Direct stimulation of the clitoral glands can be too strong for many people, especially when they first try it. If that's the case, you can stimulate the glands through the hood instead of pulling the clitoral hood up to show them. If they're into it, you can work up to direct contact. Some people like getting oral through their underwear because it makes the buildup even bigger. You can also gently lick the length of the clitoris with the flat end of your tongue. The clitoral nerves go all the way into the inner labia, so don't forget about this very sensitive spot. A little bit of pressure can feel great. Close your lips over their clitoris, lightly suck, and move your head from side to side while doing this. Some people like penetration at the same time as oral, so put a finger, or two, in and slide it in and out as you lick them. Or hook your fingers up to their belly button and rock them slightly for super satisfying G-spot pressure. This kind of dual stimulation can feel great, and it could lead to a very strong orgasm. Don't be afraid to use a toy, either, see below. Once it's clear that they like what you're doing, again, don't be afraid to ask if they aren't saying much, and you've found a rhythm that works for them. Consistency is the most important thing. If they're telling you to keep going, keep going. Keep paying attention to those reactions, and don't stop what you're doing if they tell you they're about to orgasm. What about the places? Most people like to lie down and put their partner between their thighs, but there are other ways to do it. If your partner is sitting in a chair with their legs spread out, try oral. Then you can kneel in front of them with your hands on their thighs, and they can control your movements by putting their leg on your back. Face sitting may help. The key to this position is not for the receiver to sit down on their partner's face. Instead, they should kneel, cross their partner's head, and hover a few inches from their face. The doggy position is great for cunnilingus because it gives the giver a great view and access to your whole intimate area. It's also a fun way to do rimming, see below, if that's something you and your partner like to do, but never go from butt to vagina, OVs. And, of course, there's always the good old 69 if you can give and receive without losing your momentum. How do you give someone with a penis oral sex? Oral sex with a penis is like oral sex with a clitoris in that it's not just about seeing how much of the shaft you can fit in your mouth. And despite what we see in porn, not everyone with a penis just wants to be deep-throated. You might have a tried and true routine, but don't be disappointed if it doesn't work with a new partner. What works for one penis won't always blow someone else's mind, or load. There are a few methods that work for most people, but it's also important to pay attention to what your partner does. Techniques and tips: measure the length of the shaft, the testicles, the perineum, the skin between the balls and the anus. The frenulum, the thin piece of skin between the head and shaft of the penis. The meatus, the opening to the urethra, and the head of the penis. Lick the shaft of the penis from the base to the tip with the flat of your tongue to get people excited. Think long, lingering ice cream licks. Lick the tip of the penis, which is the most sensitive part. Usually, the underside of the glands is the most sensitive part, so pay attention to this area. To feel more, move your tongue around the meatus and move your lips back and forth over the frenulum. Use your hands and fingers to hold the testicles, gently massage the perineum, and massage the lower shaft while you lick and suck the penis. Holding the shaft with both hands, move your tongue around the head of his penis, changing direction, pressure, and speed. You don't have to deep throat, see below, to get intense feelings. Just put the penis in your mouth at an angle and press it against the inside of your cheek. Make an O shape with your mouth so that as you move your head up and down, your lips put firm pressure on the whole length of the penis. Lots of people like to play with balls, so if you're both up for it, take them in your mouth and lick and chew them very gently. About having a deep voice. Despite what you see in porn, not everyone with a penis wants to be deep-throated. Don't feel like you have to do it if it's not easy for you or you just don't want to. If you want to try deep-throating, there are ways to make it more comfortable for you. Slowly works. If you want to try to sing with a deep voice, you will probably gag unless you practice. Take the penis as deeply as you can, then alternate between licking, sucking, and kissing it. If you're feeling good, go a little deeper. Since your airway will be blocked, you'll need to breathe through your nose and try to let out air as you move his penis back into your mouth. Be respectful. Many people enjoy being submissive, but for many, being forced to be so taken away the fun. The giver needs to go at their own pace, even if that means starting slowly and working up to deep throating. Fake it. If you can't or don't want to deepen your throat, you can always use your hands and mouth to give the impression of depth. Grab the base of the penis with one hand, and move the other hand up and down just below your lips so that it acts as an extension of your mouth. For a fellatio-like feel, use a lot of water-based lube. What about the places? Kneeling in front of your partner while they stand is a common position in porn, but there are many other ways to get a good grip on your partner's peen. If you are on your knees, kiss their thighs first while keeping eye contact and building up the excitement. Let them lower their penis into your mouth while you're on your back. This way, they can control how deep and fast the penetration is. This is a great spot if you like to play for power, but make sure you and your partner are both happy with what's going on. If you're the one getting touched, check in with your partner, especially if you're going deep. Set up a safe signal, like a double tap on the thigh, since you might not be able to speak easily. Have your partner lie down on the bed, and then sit on one of their thighs. You could also rub massage oil all over both of your bodies, which will help you move more smoothly and also feel great. As we already said, there's always the 69.